do.
Yeah.
I have to give
sad.
myself a pass for it. No, you can't. I just have to give myself a pass for it. I'd be like, well,
It's impossible.
but you did all that other shit.
Right.
It's not like I didn't do it. Oh, see, I bet I just started my half with the profanity again.
Just the
Sorry,
word.
I'm too. It's okay.
But like you
Should I
said,
continue what I was talking about, or should I
don't feel bad.
Start the show. Yeah, don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad.
Because it's not like I was screwing around and doing nothing. It's that I was doing other things, and
Right.
so you don't have physically enough time to do all the stuff. So
Just balancing life.
it's okay.
It's all
Speaking of balancing life, I hope you all have a wonderful, balanced life. Don't know where I was going with that. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Awesome Hardware. This is a live show. We typically talk about technology, computers, whatever the latest tech news is. We stream every Tuesday evening, starting at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, to twitch.tv/awesomehardware. And then we also stream the show in two halves on our YouTube channels. This is episode number 209. Kyle, we did the first half on Kyle's channel. That's linked down in the video description if you want to check it out, if you're watching on YouTube. What? It's confirmed that it did make it on YouTube. Thank you, DDT. I'm sorry. Ah, God. All right.
The first word that
I'm
people
sorry
hear.
this episode started off with profanity. I really apologize for that.
It was our way to give you a warning.
We try to do like an age gate at the beginning of the show.
Right.
We occasionally use adult language. We speak our minds. We speak from the heart. We also drink beer, which helps with all of those things. So cheers. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Prost.
And if you don't like beer or the occasional vulgarity, then you should leave this show. Go watch something else. We won't blame you. It's fine. Go watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus.
It's like the opening scene's him going, shit! 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 Can't escape.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm trying to stay on task.
Focus, Paul.
All right. I also wanted to point out that I was up till 3 last night for various reasons. Kyle's a little strung out too. You know, we got a lot going on. There's a lot going on. So this show is going to be a little bit more loose, a little bit more off the cuff. And we thank you guys for joining us either way. We're going to answer some questions in chat. We're hopefully going to get to the point where I can just play Borderlands 3 because that's fun.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. I haven't seen anyone play. I haven't played it myself either.
Well,
I want to watch you play.
it's good. Claptrap is just as talks forever as usual. And
Claptrap sounds like an STD.
Isn't that a euphemism?
Or I guess...
Well, the clap.
I guess it is the clap, right.
And
but
if you get clap
and
in
a
your
clap trap.
And that's... Yeah, they're right. That makes sense.
But it sounds like a derogatory. Like, she's a clap trap.
Yeah. We have a new
Anyway.
style of thumbnail. Yes, you're correct.
Yes.
Colorful.
Yep.
Engaging.
Yeah.
Just impossible not to click on. Kyle made those for us today.
Baby, get that CTR.
Look at that. Look at that.
Woo!
Look at that. Look how colorful it is.
It's clearly working because people are commenting.
My
They're
eyes
here.
were opened earlier when I watched Kyle make the thumbnail. I've learned so many things.
Indeed. Whip that shit up quick.
And yeah, that didn't. It's not like it took an insane amount of time either.
Just
so
a little
sprinkled that.
sprinkle the
on
crack.
there. All right, now I did set an agenda for my half of the show because usually we'll have news stories to talk about that I will have read as thoroughly as possible and sort of boiled down the important parts so that I can sort of regurgitate them to you guys, and then you feed on the knowledge like so many young chicks in a nest that's being fed food that's being regurgitated
Ew.
by an adult. But
Odd image.
anyway, point being, item 1 on today's agenda for my half of the show is Paul and Kyle talk about important shit.
I like that.
So
I like that. We've never done that before.
we haven't done that before. Now, I didn't really have anything specific in mind when I wrote that down. I figured, we would have a brainwave that something would come to us, and we would go with that. I wanted to talk. All right, I have something important to say here,
Okay.
and that is thank you. Thank you to all you guys out there. Those of you who are watching us live, if you're watching in the future because you couldn't join us live, in the past few weeks, maybe a month or two, even, I don't know, 2-3 months, YouTube has been doing all kinds of weird stuff. For those of us who do YouTube channels as a full-time job, it can be a little scary sometimes when suddenly the YouTube numbers start to look not as positive as they had been before.
Right.
You always want to be pushing forward, making new content, trying to expand if possible. And, you know, if suddenly you see a trend, a negative trend, and especially if that negative trend continues for quite some time, it can be a little bit disheartening, disconcerting. It can make you worry about the longevity of what you do, and especially if there's other people who you might pay, you know, who's like
Rely on you.
I have an editor,
Yeah.
and
People depend on
other
you.
people help me out. So
On both of us, yeah.
anyway, I tweeted some stuff out because I was worried. I think Kyle tweeted some stuff out because he was worried. And back to the main point, though, thank you, because I've seen a turnaround, a definite turnaround just in the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's definitely had a lift. I can't say whether it's YouTube tweaking stuff back to the way it was before, but I can definitely say that I have received so many comments from people in YouTube comments, people who've been replying on Twitter, who've been saying, "Hey, like, I clicked your video," and even if it's just somebody that's like, I clicked your video. You know, it's not something I usually would have watched because, you know, I don't expect everyone to watch every single video I make because they're not all going to be home runs that everyone's like, oh my God, that's the most fascinating thing. But somebody saying like, hey, I clicked your video. You know, I gave you a click. I gave you some feedback. I posted a comment, you know, YouTube engagement comment. Like that actually helps.
Yeah.
That affects the algorithm. That tells YouTube that people care about the content that we make and people get engaged with it. And so I wanted to say thank you to those of you who have been, anyone who's made a little special effort on our parts. Much obliged.
Thank you guys.
Very much so.
Cheers. I've noticed an uptick as well.
And also just to let you guys know, since it's hard, like you don't always want to make a video that says like, all right, here's how my channel's doing with views and stuff like that.
Right, yeah.
So this is an opportunity for us to let you guys know that we do see that, and we do appreciate it. So cool.
Consider yourselves acknowledged.
Yeah.
And thanked.
Anyway, that's my important shit. Kyle, do you have any other important shit to? I do.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we've been trying to do announcements at the beginning. We did one at the very beginning of the show in Kyle's half, but there is an announcement that on December 7th,
Yes.
we're doing a charity live stream for 12 hours.
Yes.
So if you guys should join us.
Our annual
Charity live stream.
Last year we raised what, 20 grand or something like that?
I think we were up to 21 or 22 grand by the time the live stream ended. And then we had some more donations trickle in after that because the giveaway systems we had set up went on for a few more days.
Right.
So we ended up breaking 25,000.
It's insane.
Which is insane. Like I've been
That's really crazy.
like it set a standard for me in my mind, and whenever I see other charity events going on and they say how much they raised, like not that I've
well, it's
obviously this is
only 10 grand.
This is not very serious.
What's the point?
I'm just saying I've seen some pretty like well-known organizations that have done events where it's like, oh, and we raised 10,000 for charity or 20,000 for charity. I'm like, we're like the amount we raised thanks to you guys, and obviously I should reiterate that. It's like right up there with a lot of like these big like global companies.
Right.
I mean, depending on the
It's very humbling when you see when you compare it to that. Like, what? Like Red Cross just raised like 15 grand and they're like tweeting about it and stuff. Like we did that in like a 12-hour live stream just gaming. It's like I feel like it makes us very proud of this community and also very fortunate to be in the position that we're in to be able to do shit like this where we're just having a good time, hanging out, making some memories, and just raising a ridiculous amount of money and support for people who need it. So
yes,
we can't wait to do it again. December 7th. Mark your freaking calendars.
Yeah, last year it was for the
epic.
Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
Yeah, Wifey Sauce actually has a suggestion on maybe a couple organizations we could look into that she's been inspired by recently.
Yes, and we
double check.
And we have various like
they could be Satanists, so I'm not sure yet.
I want to say inlets coming up for the monies for the charities. I have a system that I put together last month, the Corsair Hydro X build, and it's a micro ATX system, and that I'm going to be auctioning off in the next couple weeks. I'll be doing a video on it, sort of a final video on that build and showing it. I've added some LEDs to it, and we'll probably do a couple, just quick performance tests on it and just announce that it's up for auction.
Yeah.
So we need to spent a little bit of time figuring out exactly how we're going to be divvying up the charity stuff.
Yeah, I'm doing a build as well that I'm hoping to auction off.
Yes.
I haven't built it yet, like I mentioned in the last half, but like pretty much all the parts are in except the custom water cooling hardware stuff. And then that's pretty much all I had to say about that. We're doing giveaway PCs too, right?
Yeah. So MB67, who's a very regular viewer of the show, who donated a build last year that was a really nice, I think it was about a $2,000-ish, like if you just look at the parts value.
Yeah.
Dan case build. So that was one of the we had 3 systems that we were giving away last year. This year, we're both going to do systems that we auction off, and then we're going to take that auction money and donate to charity / drop it into the pot to be grown upon on the live stream day. And then I'm probably going to do not quite as a over the top build as the water cooled one, but I'm probably going to do a simpler build as well to have going for just a giveaway system as well at the same time.
I'll try to do that
too. And Mike is building another system as well. I saw him posting in chat something about he got the Crosshair 8 Impact.
Oh,
it was a $400 motherboard, Mike.
Damn.
What are you doing?
That's nuts.
Thank you.
That's
holy
crazy.
crap. I think
is he doing the Leon Lee case?
I don't know. I think he's doing another small form factor one.
That's the DTX board, right?
Yeah, it's a mini DTX board.
Holy
which is
shite!
It's like the nicest small form factor X570 board you can get, but it also costs $400 freaking dollars for
Fully
the motherboard.
loaded.
So it's like
It's fully loaded.
Yeah. Mike, not Mike, our mods, Mike, the Manic Geek, as well as Crafty Hack, but Mike,
So many mics.
Mike MB67, aka Lenticular,
Yes.
who's a longtime friend of the show. Okay, forget what I was talking about.
You were just talking about
We
life.
were talking about important stuff.
important shit.
Very important.
That's
stuff.
the segment.
Speaking of important stuff, I never plugged our stores. I guess I can do that real quick.
That's important.
We usually plug our stores at the beginning of the show. Our stores are available if you guys want to buy stuff, and we will be doing some Johnson shoutouts in a little bit here for those of you who have bought stuff during the show. My store is paulshardware.net. We have some new stuff that's come in, such as some new zip-up hoodies. I have some new knit caps, the rolled one as well as the straight one, organic cotton.
Hey,
and then we have some sales going on for... Excuse me. And we have some sales going on as well for some of the awesome hardware merch that we're clearing out. So if you want some awesome hardware merch, now's a great time to get that as well. Kyle's store is bitwit.tech/store. He has a ton of new designs.
I do.
The Stripwit. I was gonna highlight the
baby.
Stripwit shirt.
Stripwit into his house.
Just Bitwit
With a
going
strip.
down the front of your shirt. Vaguely seems like it's pointing at your dick, but I'm just gonna say, maybe that's intentional.
It's open to interpretation. Let your mind wander.
What's it got on the back?
As you.
Oh, it's got a back logo too.
It does have a back logo.
Back logo on there.
Very nice little touch there that
That's
adds
subtle.
a little something. A little
subtle
something,
there.
something. Yep.
But bitwit.tech/store for Kyle stuff, Blue Shirt of Death, lots of new merch over there. And thanks to all you guys for your support.
Thanks,
and,
guys.
And it's real nice. Oh, I was going to point out, I'm wearing, finally, Captain Thumbscrew
finally got
shirt.
one.
I finally
I
got
didn't
one
realize.
in my size.
Nice.
This is a specific design that I worked on for a little while because I thought it was somewhat clever.
It is funny.
And I wanted to point out, since I'm wearing it, how comfortable it is, first of all, as are all of these standard black cotton shirts. But if you've ever bought a shirt, if you've ever not bought a shirt because you've looked at it and been like, it's got a big printed design there, and if you've worn those, it doesn't breathe and it gets sweaty right there.
Not these.
Does not happen with these shirts.
Yeah.
They're
water-based prints, I think.
Yeah,
they last forever.
Our merch guy, John, is awesome, and he uses magic. But basically, it's like dye. It's a special dye that sets into the fabric, so it still breathes just like the fabric and everything. So if you've looked at this shirt and been like, I like that shirt, and I would wear that, but I don't want the sweaty patch on the middle of the stomach.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it doesn't do that. Anyway,
Right.
wanted to point that out.
And no cracking, like after a million washes.
that
It
too.
doesn't like. It's not like it's not like that at all. It's really good.
That's also real nice. Okay, what's next on the agenda?
Any other stuff?
Mail time. I do have some mail.
Oh, cool.
A little bit of mail. Somebody in chat. Oh, that's not the right lower thirds at all. It's fine. Fine though, it doesn't matter.
We should have female time every once in a while.
Female.
Just to even it up.
Well, okay.
I don't know what that looked like.
I
Probably
don't know
not.
why it says the tubes. Should I update that?
The tubes.
I know why. It's because I don't prepare. Where's mail time? Come on, mail.
What?
It should be under M.
Oh, there it is.
Mail time. All right.
With space.
All right. Mail time. I have a letter and I have a package. And I saw somebody in chat earlier asking about sending in beer for us to drink during the live stream.
Right.
You can totally do that.
Yes.
My P.O. Box is listed in the video description of all of my videos. So it's P.O. Box 4325, Diamond Bar, California.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can send stuff there. I have received beer there before.
Just pack it well.
Make sure it's reasonably well packed because just shipping stuff.
Scared me.
Hero's hacking up. He's just hacking on a bone. Woo. All right, this is a letter from David. Let's see if there's any warnings here that I shouldn't read this live or anything. All right.
Starts with the social security number.
Dear Paul, my name is David. I'm writing to you because I've been watching your videos for some time. I'm a big fan. Love computers. One video that caught my attention is where you said a gaming computer can be put into 4 categories, and I realized I am building a high-end gaming PC. I did that. It's good to categorize things.
Yes.
Something that we all do as humans.
Yep.
I basically said all computers fall into these 4 categories, and I listed the qualifications
vaguely
and
racist
everything.
to computers.
But obviously it hit home with David.
Stereotyping.
He's building a high-end gaming PC. Okay. I do have a few questions for you, though. Could you explain the difference between the RTX 2070 Founders Edition graphics card and the RTX 2070 Super card? All right. So the RTX 2070 is the GPU, right? That's like the GPU. It's the chip at the center of the card. Here, I have a graphics card. It's fine. You guys know what I'm talking about. You got a graphics card. That's the whole card with the cooling solution and everything. You have the GPU. That's the chip at the center. The RTX 2070 is the name of that GPU. You have a bunch of different types of RTX 2070s, though, with different cards and different cooling solutions built onto them. Founders Edition is NVIDIA's specific name for their design for the card that NVIDIA makes. So NVIDIA makes a GPU, and they make that card, and they design the card. That's what Founders Edition means. And for a while, they were trying to charge $100 more than all the other cards for it, and they don't exactly do that anymore. Now, I understand your confusion because NVIDIA has recently started making these super cards, which is basically like that card has been out for a while, and then they're like, we want to make a new version of this and make it a little bit better, so they make a super. Technically, it's a different GPU, different card, but usually they're a little bit faster. They might have some other differences, like, for instance, the RTX 2060 Super has 8 gigs of RAM, whereas the RTX 2060 has 6 gigs of RAM. A lot of people have criticized NVIDIA for it because we find it confusing. I think I've done that. Certainly Gamers Nexus has, and quite a few other. Because they already have TI. They put you have an RTX 2080 and an RTX 2080 Ti, which is like higher end one. So adding Super in there kind of makes it more confusing. So don't feel bad at all for being a little bit confused about that. Just know that there's an RTX 2070. There's an RTX 2070 Super. The Super is about $500. You can get the 2070 for I've seen them for like 425-ish.
4 and 5, yeah.
At the
Low
low,
fours.
if they're towards $400-ish, the 2070 is actually pretty good for that price. 2070 Super is what you should be buying if you're spending about $500. And then there's a bunch of different variations of those. There's an RTX 2070 Super Founders Edition, and then there's an RTX 2070 Super variants made by Asus and Gigabyte and all the other board partners who make various different versions of graphics cards. And yeah, I think that's one of those things that, if you've been building computers for a while, you kind of take for granted that you sort of have a grasp for how that works. But if you're just getting into it for the first time and you're not aware of all, it can be hard. So no worries there. Here is a list of the parts I have so far. He's got a 9900K. That's good. That's a very good gaming processor.
Good start. So far, so good.
I don't know if you're buying that outright. If you are, cool. He's got an Asus ROG Maximus Hero 11 motherboard. Also a very nice motherboard. It's a bit higher end. Obviously, he's spending some cash in here. 970 Evo, 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. A Kingston 120 gig SATA SSD. It's interesting that he's got a 1 terabyte NVMe and then a 120 gig Kingston for extra storage. Maybe that was just something that he already had. Corsair H100i, Corsair Vengeance Pro 16 gig memory, PC. It's a 24,000. I hate this listing. 3 gigahertz. All right, 3 gigahertz. Okay, that's fine. RGB, Cooler Master MWE Gold 750 watt.
Technology.
Windows 10. These are the parts I have not assembled them yet, only because I want to get the graphics card before I do. Just wondering if you could give me some insight on what card to get. Thanks, I don't mind if you read this on a video. Thank you for giving us permission.
At the very end.
And for those of you who are going to write letters in the do that at the beginning.
Yeah.
Say, hey, okay to read on camera, or please don't read on camera. And then he included his email address as well.
He doesn't have a CPU in there?
Yeah, it's 9900K.
Oh, 9900, right.
All right, you have the building
GPU.
blocks of a very, very nice high-end gaming computer, and it sounds like you've already got a lot of that stuff, so I'm not going to tell you, oh, you should have gotten this instead.
Yeah.
Be happy with what you got. The 9900K is a beastly, solid gaming processor, and the best, if not one of the few best gaming CPUs that are available right now. So
Right.
you're good.
Tell me if you agree with me here. 5700 XT or RTX 2060 Super or higher?
I like the 5700 and 5700 XT over the 2060 versions. I think they're competitively priced and they're a little bit faster in that range.
Sure. Unless you want ray tracing or something.
I think it's only once you get up to the RTX 2070 that a very inexpensive RTX 2070 makes sense if the price is really reduced and it's around $400. And then the 2070 Super for $500 is a really good card. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of what your budget is and how much money you have to spend.
Right.
For you, David, since you're already thinking about a $500 graphics card, find a 2070 Super.
Yeah.
Buy it for $500. Don't spend too much more than $500, and you will be happy. There's quite a few variants out there. I can't tell you here's the specific exact one you should get because I can't see the prices right now.
Yeah.
Just double check reviews, but I mean I don't think there's any like horrible
red flags
2070 Supers out there that suck or anything.
Just go with the cheapest
They're all
partner.
within a few percentage points of each other.
Non-blower style.
Yeah, it helps to not get a blower style if you're not doing a small form factor build. All right, one more mail time. This is an actual package from Doran Israel from New York.
Wait, from Israel?
No, that's his last name.
Oh, his last name's Israel.
Yes. It's normal. I didn't know. I've known people with the first name Israel.
Mr. Israel from New York.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
If your first name is Israel, then you can go by Iz, which is kind of a cool
Or
nickname.
Izzy.
Or Izzy.
Or Izzy Pop.
Oh, I'm gonna cut myself. This is very well taped.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He didn't want whatever's in there getting out.
Well, hold on.
You are a professional unboxer, so
Usually.
you got
Where's
this.
the?
You can open it from this side. Looks like
It's the
there's a lot.
bottom though.
Yeah. Be a rebel.
I just feel like
Color
there's
outside the
folds.
lines.
There's folds everywhere. Oh, here. My side of the show is fascinating. All right.
Paul and Kyle open a box.
Yay, box opening. Okay.
Try to open a
That's
box.
better.
Just cut
All right.
the tape.
What the heck? Just cut the damn tape off.
You always have an answer, don't
Something
you,
about
chat?
not destroying the packaging. All right, Kyle, can you
Yes.
check that out there?
It would be my pleasure.
Oh, he wrote some words on there.
Okay, let me just make sure. I'm going to read the very end of it to make sure he doesn't want us not
Okay.
reading it.
These look like LED strips. Any good words on there, Kyle?
He said he loves your channel. He's been watching you for about 2 years. His favorite episode, one of his favorite episodes, is the things that pissed you off at Computex
Oh yeah,
a couple years back. This is a device he developed that he sent. Nothing like it exists in the market. He wanted a way to unify all of his RGB devices under one software and control many analog RGB control channels with one tool. No company produced anything like it, so he picked up electronic engineering as a new hobby to help him develop it.
Okay.
He made a small batch of them, started selling them on modbymods.com and piratedogtech.com. He listens to our show as he solders or works on his project in his basement lair. If Lyle wants one as well, I can send him one. Don't. He'll turn it into a bomb of some sort.
Oh, God.
If Kyle wants one, tell him he has to borrow it from Lyle. Well, guess I'm not getting one then. Would you mind taking a look at this device and doing a review on it, as nothing like it exists in the market? My target audience is people who want to control their analog RGB devices with a digital RGB controller, like ones on motherboards or on Corsair controllers. Each board can have 4 separate analog channels, and the boards can be chained. I developed this board so I could control my 12 analog TT RGB fittings and control them separately with Corsair's IQ. Note, normally the addressable RGB DAC does not include additional items like cables and strips, though I include the cables and the analog strips in case you want to check them out. Check out this item. More details in the guide.
It's like a pirate product. It's the RGB. RGB. Okay. RGB digital to analog converter. So, if you didn't catch that from what Kyle was reading, what this device does is, let's say you bought a motherboard and you want to control your RGB LEDs, right?
Yep.
There's different motherboards, and some motherboards are like, oh, we have a 3-pin 5-volt addressable RGB header.
We have a 4-pin
and then there's 4-pin 12-volt headers.
It's very
But then the
confusing.
Software doesn't seem to let you use both of them at the same time,
right.
or let you control the addressable RGBs while you also have the non-addressable RGBs connected to someone.
Yeah.
It seems very spotty.
Right.
The actual
Kind of black and white.
usage of all that, and it's like, I've wanted to do a video kind of covering the RGB situation with motherboards and the software and everything, but it's just so muddy.
Yeah.
I feel like doing a complete job of it is very challenging. So
This is the best part.
anyway, so that's pretty smart. It's a little PCB. The RGB DAC accepts digital input, the 5-volt addressable input from your motherboard. And then it has 4 analog outputs, so you can connect those up to standard analog RGB LED strips and control the analog RGB strips as if it was digital.
Yeah.
Which I would imagine it would mean like a digital. If you have addressable digital, it can make this one color, and this one color, and this one color, and this one color. But since it's doing all these individually, it could probably do one color for this one, and one color for this one, and one color for this one, and then maybe cycle through it.
Right.
Along with cycling through.
Wait,
your
so does it actually
RGB
turn
stuff.
analog, like the 12-volt RGB strips, into digital in terms of like the effects that it can do? Or is it?
No, these are
right?
If it's still a 4-pin analog,
It'll still function the
if
same.
it's still a 4-pin,
you can just control
non-digital.
it. You can just control it through a 3-pin header.
Yeah.
I see. Right.
This is still all
what I
going to be
thought.
one color on this strip.
Right.
You're not going to be able to individually adjust the individual LEDs,
Of
but
course.
it means that you could plug it in. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's
Little
usable.
Mounting points and stuff.
Very usable.
I like it.
Such a mishmash of RGB devices
All right.
out there now.
Thank you very much for sending this in.
Hails, yeah.
Did you put a name? What was the name?
Bartholomew.
Doran.
Close.
Solarity, aka Solarity, is real. Thank you very much, Doran. I am still working on
I'm
my...
sorry, I need to put this away. People are getting mad at me. It's addicting.
Snapping stuff down there. I still need to finish out the Spectre 2.0 PC over there, and I'm not sure if this will be helpful with that, but you never know. But I've definitely gone to set up RGB lighting and realized that I can't quite do what I want to do because of that limitation before. So
Yeah.
cool. All right, that's
That'd
all
be
for
cool.
mail time. Let's do donation comments
Yay.
and Johnson's.
Johnson.
For anyone who has been kind enough to send in a donation during Kyle's half or my half of the show.
Chef Jay into his house. $5. Love the channel. We love you and your donation, Mr. Chef J.
Yes, indeed.
Or Mrs. Chef J. I don't know. Not gonna judge. Zach P for $5. Hopefully this money goes to you guys. I guess Google is handing out money because they decided to be evil. Love you guys. Wait, Google's handing out money?
I thought Google's supposed to not be evil. I mean, that's their old motto. They don't do that anymore. They started to allow evil at some point.
If they were being evil, then they wouldn't be handing out money to us, right? I feel like they're being the opposite of evil.
I kind of get what you're saying there, but I don't think it's communicated
right
as effectively as good. But we understand the gist of your.
We understand the $5 donation.
Yeah.
And we thank you for that, Mr. Zach.
Thank you.
Speaking of language.
Thank you, Zach.
Cyric86, $5. Building my first PC on my own and only need the GPU. Ryzen 3700X, build in white. So should I go RTX 2070 or RTX 2060 Super? Really kind of just depends on your budget.
Yeah.
2070
though. That's what I would lean towards.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah. If you can afford it.
But don't spend a lot of money. Like, that's the thing. It's like, what's the price? 2060 Super can hew pretty close to the 2070.
Yeah.
It's not going to beat it.
No.
And if you compare an overclocked 2060 Super to an overclocked 2070, the RTX 2070 is going to win.
Oh, of course.
So if it's a significant enough price difference that it makes more sense to buy the 2060 Super because it's much less expensive, then you should do that. If they're very close in price, then you should go for the 2070 because, spend a few more bucks and get a faster card.
Wait for Black Friday.
And yeah, Black Friday. I'm sure there'll be deals.
You'll find something.
All kinds of deals.
MB67, $13.37.
Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Cheers, Kyle. Just received pretty much all the parts for the charity build. Damn, that ROG Crosshair Impact 8 board is very expensive.
Yeah, the C8i.
That's what we were saying.
Yeah, Mike. Well, I enjoy building with it. It's a cool board. It's a very interesting form factor. They pack a lot into a very tiny space there.
Yeah.
The SO-DIM.2 riser is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
That they were able to do that.
Looks pretty badass.
Yeah, but we look forward to that. Thank you again. And again, we don't want to assume that you're doing anything for us, but you keep talking about it, so we're looking forward to it now.
Yeah, the Dan case build that you did last year was awesome.
Yep.
I really love that I still drool over that Galax 1070 that you put in there. That single slot card, which I was like, ooh,
that was nice.
Putting a single slot 1070 in a Dan case just got me all giddy. Can't wait to see what you whip up, Mike. Thank you very much again. JS Steve 81 $4.99 UURR 3080 Ti 3080 Ti Ultra Jensen Edition. I see. Ultra Ultimate Rapid Ray Tracing 3080 Ti.
Oh, okay.
Jensen Edition. Paul sucks. Kidding. Love you guys. Lyle for president. Did you not take your ADHD medicine this morning?
It's kind of all over.
Mr. J. Steve?
I mean, he packed a lot into, a few sentences there.
Right.
So.
I mean, he definitely got his dollar's worth.
I appreciate that.
Me
Thank
too.
you, J. Steve 81.
Thanks, man. Bazinga X, $5 for killing Lyle.
No.
If I knew that killing Lyle would net me $5, I would have done that a lot sooner.
That's totally worth it.
Also, I'm surprised that no one bid higher than that to kill Lyle. But thank you, Bazinga X. I appreciate it. I will give Lyle your regards. Pew pew. All right, 1,000 subs with 2 videos. That's the name of the person. I'm not saying random words. 1,000 subs with 2 videos.
It's pretty common.
Yes.
Name.
I'm sure it's all they're 2 the most amazing, life-changing videos you've ever seen too. $5, Paul, please take down the video about Windows for $20. That website scammed me and refused to give a refund. They gave me a used Windows activation code. Okay, that happens to everyone.
Yeah.
Did you A, buy insurance for the $1 or $2 that's offered? You should have. You should always buy insurance, especially when it's that cheap. And B, did you try all the other troubleshooting methods around that? Because sometimes your key will not work, and you have to activate it through a different method. Oftentimes it's over the phone.
A lot of keys that come from Kingwin, which is the site you're talking about, require phone activation, so you got to go through that. Some supplemental stuff to that. Don't try to buy older Windows keys for Windows 7, for example. They tend to be less reliable. Only go for the Windows 10 ones. Only buy from sellers that have a positive feedback rating with a lot of feedback. In my experience, I'd say 9 out of 10 keys that I've purchased from there have worked, and the other ones, if you gotta, that's the other thing, buy it to activate right away. Don't buy it to save for a while. You need to buy it and try to activate it right away.
Oh, yeah.
And then if it doesn't work, you need to immediately request a refund.
Sure.
So yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take that video down. There's way more people who have managed to do this than people who have had your situation. I apologize for your situation. I'm sorry if you've experienced that, but hopefully some of these suggestions kind of get you on the right track.
I've bought at least 40 keys from Kingwin.
Yeah.
All Windows 10, 64-bit. Most of them Pro. Maybe a dozen of them have been home. They've all worked. I would say a third of them, maybe a quarter of them, did not work on the first attempt. But I had to activate it through other methods, like I said. And they all worked perfectly fine. Never had a problem.
And remember, if you're doing phone activation and they ask you how many machines has this key been used on before, one. It's only ever one. There's only ever been one system.
Only one.
Okay.
All right. MB67 again, $13.37. We're on Paul's half now. Cheers, Paul. Cheers.
Thank
to
you so much, and cheers.
Mr. Mike.
Right back at you, Mike.
Bazinga X, $5, $4.99 for the baby, 0.01 cents for you.
That's
sums it up perfectly.
That's generous of you. That's actually
all about the baby now.
A better split than I usually get. Thank you. Thanks, Bazinga X.
Can't get much worse than that.
I do appreciate that.
Baja Truck Guy, $5. Cheers. Finally get to enjoy a cold one with you guys.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it.
I've only been on this side of the live show, but I've heard from people that they enjoyed sitting and drinking a beer with us while we do the live show.
It's easy listening,
and I appreciate that. So
nothing that we say on this show is ever hard to digest. It's all very.
That's our goal.
It's all very.
It's meant to be. It's meant to go right through you.
Snackable.
Like coffee
or a bullet.
Or chorizo.
Or chorizo. Oh, God. Indian food. Oh, God.
That's not Indian food. Chorizo?
No, I was just adding. I was adding to the list. Yes.
Yeah, there's quite a few options there.
Right.
Bank shot.
We have Bank Shot, $6.90. Nice.
Nice with the sunglasses.
Sunshade smiley.
Hey, because it's $6.90, $6.90. That's a 69
see what you
donation.
Did there.
I like that. Blank shot.
Too bad you had a blank shot at the end of that. Thanks. Papa Q. 100 Donkey Kongs. No, that's Danish krona, I think. Paul, tell Kyle to change the new Bitwit logo on Floatplane. I would have donated on his half, but I got here late.
Oh.
That's okay.
Update your Bitwit logo.
Yeah, the Bitwit logo is still the old one on Floatplane. That means you're a Bitwit, a YouTube, Floatplane, wow words, subscriber, and I thank you for that. So you don't even have to donate to me here. You're already a paying subscriber monthly, unless, you're only subscribed to Linus and just happen to see my channel there, and you're like, I'm not going to subscribe to him. I'm just going to call him out on his old logo, on his awesome hardware show. And in that case, you suck. No, I'm just kidding.
And you promised to update the logo, right?
Yes, of course. Okay. I was going to say, thank you for reminding me. The only reason I haven't updated it yet is because we're currently working on a rebrand of the rebrand. Did a Twitter poll recently where I gave you guys 6 different design options for a slight refresh of the current new branding, and you guys voted on one option tremendously more than the others. So
black and yellow.
It's not the black and yellow one. It's still pink and blue, but the shades of each color have been toned, have been tweaked a lot, so that the contrast is a lot better. It's a lot easier on the eyes, and actually seeing it next to our original logo, or I'm sorry, our existing logo, it's just like, wow, it looks so much better. Plus, there's some other design elements in there that is being worked on currently. I might even have it up as early as tomorrow with a new logo and banner. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for the PSA, though. I will change it and update it on Floatplane soon. By the way, are you on Floatplane now?
No, I'm sorry.
Hell, Paul.
I messaged Luke because I was really so I had it in my head that I needed to get a week ahead on videos to start posting to Floatplane, so that I could be posting Floatplane videos ahead of time, because there's supposed to be some incentive for Floatplane subscribers because they're paying actual cash money, and getting early access is one of the ways to do that.
Right.
Now, it turns out there's other ways to go about incentivizing people to subscribe on Floatplane, and I don't necessarily need to be a week ahead, and Luke has replied and said, like, you know, he's willing to work with me whatever way is necessary and all that good stuff. I have just been so bogged down with stuff, like, it just seems like a constant deluge of things that I've had to take care of.
Yeah.
And like I'm trying to put the Floatplane setup higher on the priority list, but it just keeps getting pushed down by other things. So
yeah,
you know, it's still on the to-do list. I'm still planning to join and all that good stuff. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
I don't want to make any promises.
I'm lonely, Paul.
I've already delayed it so much and everything, but I'm planning to. I just need to get to that day where I'm like, oh, it's a day where I have like some time.
Right. But then that day comes and you're like, oh wait, but there's 50 million other things besides Floatplane that you also have been waiting on doing. So I know how it is. I know Greg Science Studio, which I think he rebranded to just Greg Salazar, like his name. I looked at his channel the other 2 days ago, and it's like there's no Science Studio or anything. It's just his name now. So he's kind of gone like the Austin Evans route or something.
He's rebranded a couple times.
But I know that he's on Floatplane now, so that's cool. Got another homie there. Yeah. But you know what's great about Floatplane? I don't think I've ever mentioned this to you before, but like one of my favorite things about it, there's many great things about it, but my favorite thing so far right now is that you like the Floatplane audience is kind of like QAing your videos before they go on YouTube. Oh, okay. It's like you miss something, you misspeak, you forget to put an annotation somewhere. They catch it, and they're like policing your videos, but in like a really kind and generous, they don't constructive way. They're not like
to the fire.
They're not, yeah, exactly. They're not like doing a witch hunt, burning you at the stake alive. They're just like, oh, you missed this part, or you called that the wrong thing. Like, God, Papa bless all of you.
That would have helped with
Floatplane's amazing.
With my last video.
It's a great community.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the system I built to be the central hub for my security camera system and stuff like that. And like it was an okay video, but there was several mistakes in it that were pretty glaring in retrospect, but totally didn't catch at all.
Yeah.
Like the power supply is installed backwards.
Oh, like the fan was upside down or what?
Like you're supposed to put it one way so that there's a grill so that the air can be sucked in.
Oh,
and
shit.
I flipped it the other way so that the side panel that's on it is just flat and there's going to be no air to access, which is fine. The system is. I didn't have it all put together at the end of it. I still am gonna do a follow up on it and everything.
Flip it, yeah.
But I've gotten so many people be like, the power supply is backwards.
Right.
Like.
And that's the one thing that everyone fixes on. Fixates on.
Dr. Zaber messaged me. Was like, Paul, thank you for doing another build in our system.
They did.
Here's the 4 things that you did wrong. No, they were nice about it and everything. But one of the things was like, you put the power supply in backwards. I'm like, I know. I'm gonna correct it. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna flip it. I'm working on other stuff.
Thanksgiving, your parents can be like, Paul, you know that one video you did, the Dr. Zaber.
The century.
What,
case,
Mom? I've heard it a million.
You really need to flip that power supply up. It's not getting enough airflow.
This isn't the way I raised you, son.
Not nearly enough.
This isn't the way.
I'm just worried. about you.
Everything okay at home? Is everything?
We need to have a talk.
Is the baby getting airflow?
Oh God.
All right.
Anyway.
Thank you very much for that donation, Papa Q.
Yes, Papa Q.
All right, moving on to Bearded Hardware. Hey, I think this might be Andrew. What's going on, man? $4.99. What's
Andrew.
up with the streaming issues? Has me a bit worried as I want to stream more often. Thanks, broskies. Streaming issues on Twitch? I'm guessing he's talking about Twitch because I think that's where he mainly streams.
Well, he might be talking.
Oh no, maybe that's probably not Andrew. I think Andrew is Beardly Andrew. This is Bearded Hardware. So I don't know what he's talking about, if he's talking about Twitch or YouTube, but we haven't really experienced any streaming issues personally. I streamed Red Dead Redemption 2 for like an hour, almost 2 hours the other day, and it was on YouTube only, but it was fine.
He might be talking about some of the stuff that we were tweeting and stuff about when we were in the...
Oh, you mean like our stream right now?
Yeah. Well, so... Alright. I
need more info.
As mentioned earlier in my half of the show,
on YouTube.
You know, we were dealing with some YouTube performance issues recently in the past couple months.
Yeah.
And you know, we've been trying to find, we're trying to get as much info as we can to figure out like, well, what are we doing wrong? What could we be doing better? What could we switch?
Right.
What do we need to, is there something that is negatively impacting the channel? One of the things that popped up as a result of that, this is another thing that I have on my list of to-do things that I haven't followed up on yet, is Jay reached out to me.
Uh-huh.
And he wanted to talk directly, not just have a Twitter conversation that was public and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
And I still need to sync up with him and do that.
Sure.
Which I'm planning to do, just like I'm planning to join Floatplane.
Yes. All in due
But
time.
the Jay meetup will probably happen sooner than that. But anyway, one of the things that Jay talked about was the reasons why he stopped doing Tech Talk, the live show that Jay did with Jerry, aka Barnacules Nerdgasm, for quite some time. And he said that his live stream, because the performance of it was relatively lower compared to the rest of his videos, was potentially negatively impacting the performance of the rest of his videos. So I don't have too much beyond that to say about that. We're not sure exactly all of the mysterious ways in which the YouTube algorithm works.
Yeah.
That apparently has, like, Jay's channel does pretty well. I don't know how much of an impact him stopping Tech Talk as part of his regular content had to do with that. We're not really sure. So we're trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
And I would like to hear from a wider variety of people, or maybe even directly from YouTube. I'm not sure if they're going to be forthright with something about that, like whether or not that is actually true.
Yeah.
If it is true, then obviously that's something we have to take into consideration.
Yeah.
If it's not, then hopefully it's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry to not have a more direct answer for you there, if that's specifically what you're talking about. We don't know the answer as to whether live streams or live stream type content that's different from your regular uploads, if you're a regular uploader on YouTube, like if YouTube looks at that and was like, this video that you just did kind of sucked compared to what your other videos do.
So we're not going to recommend the ones immediately
So your next
following.
video is probably going to suck too, and we're not going to show it to people. Yeah. Like that's the like we hope that's not how YouTube works.
Yeah.
If it does, then yes, that is something we have to take into consideration.
Right.
That said, going back to the beginning of this half, and the thank you that we hopefully communicated to all you guys out there for your continued support of us and watching our videos and clicking on our stuff and everything. Even the live show, just like last week, seemed to be doing better as well. Like last week's live show on my half got like over 50,000 views, which is pretty good for the live show.
Yeah.
So that's cool too. That said, we're both running businesses. We gotta keep our ears to the grindstone and our noses to the sky.
Yeah.
And
we're paying mortgages with with this shit.
Yeah. So
real life shit.
We're gonna find out as much as we can about that and behave accordingly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's as direct, I guess, as an answer as I can give to that question.
Well summarized, Paul.
Okay.
What the? I thought I'd turn this shit off.
Calling all influencers.
Why is there? Why am I being fed? Oh, because I'm logged into a different account.
It's an ad. It's like that's an ad that's playing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, YouTube.
All right, moving on. Tony Zuba with the $5 donation. It's my birthday tomorrow. Woo!
Happy birthday, Tony!
Happy birthday, Tony.
You the man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Have a good one, man.
Another year down.
I hope you can do something fun.
Yeah, go skydiving.
Next up, Josh Schaefer with the $10 donation. Says, been working 2 jobs now, so don't have as much time for YouTube as I used to, but I always make sure to click your videos. Thanks for the quality content. Cheers to you both. Thank you very much, Josh. And yeah, I mean, thanks for the clicks. And if I can use this comment to elaborate further on the comments that I made earlier, like, I am insanely appreciative of the people who have looked at us and some of the, issues we've had recently and been like, all right, I'm going to help support them and do more clicks and stuff like that. At the same time, I don't necessarily think that is a sustainable MO for a channel.
Right.
What I want to be doing is making content that you guys want to click on, not just because you want to help our channels be good.
Of course.
and be rated well, but because you want to click on it and watch the actual video. So I think our response to those of you who have been doing that is that we're going to respond by hopefully continuing to bust our asses to make the best content we can.
Right.
And, you know, whether that involves branching out and finding new interesting things to talk about and do, or whether it, you know, whatever it involves, we're gonna do that. So
yeah, I feel like YouTube really prioritizes watch time above all else. Like that's the most important metric that they seem to look at.
Which isn't how it used to be.
Right, exactly. It used to be more. I felt like it was more about audience retention, like the actual percentage relative to the duration of the actual video. So if you had, but now it's completely different. Like, was that a dog?
I think that was Hannah going. Ow.
She's copying the dogs with her own little woof.
Is she in a good mood?
Her signature bark.
Yeah. She made a poopy.
Oh, poopy!
She made a poopy.
Celebrate!
Everyone celebrate. My
Hannah
daughter made a poopy.
We should have been drinking stouts.
Mm-hmm. I didn't get stouts. I have a.
Oh, it's okay.
It's a porter. There's porter in there, vanilla porter if you want.
Poopy looking enough. No, I'm good for now.
She's in the phase right now where she's pooping very seldom. She has gone 4, 5, 6 days between poopies.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Which is normal.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, doctor told us early on, because apparently that's something that parents like were like, why isn't my child pooping? But yeah, they start to poop less frequently, which is kind of nice.
You don't have to change diapers 30 times a day.
But if they go 6 days, if she goes 6 days and then she poops, man, that poop that she makes after 6 days
is a big girl poop.
Oh, it's a doozy.
Oof.
It's a doozy.
It's kind of like the one of the questions that I got on the last Q&A that I did. It was like, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized Pauls or 1 Paul-sized duck?
Oh, no.
It's like, do you want a bunch of little turds at once, or do you want one giant turd?
What was your answer? I didn't catch that.
I think, I said that I would rather go for the 100 duck-sized Pauls, because you'd all just be chilling. Like, I feel like the one, like, ducks are assholes. You know, the one giant duck would want to fight me, especially if it was your size. I was like, Paul's not a small man.
Oh yeah.
But 100 duck-sized Pauls, like they'd probably more be a nuisance than anything. I'd be like, guys, I only have 10 glasses. I can't give all of you water right now. You know, they'd just be looking for a place to crash, or just want to hang out. It's too many friends.
Whenever that question pops up, for some reason reminds me of a Calvin and Hobbes comic strip, where. Like, the strip is basically him making a bunch of teeny tiny snowmen. Mm-hmm. So he makes tiny snowmen. And then,
Calvin?
Calvin. And then the next shot is like him, like, stomping them, but then he's pretending to be like a T-Rex or something like that.
Right.
That's it. Those tiny snowmen. Anyway. Okay. Right?
At any rate.
That was Josh. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Josh, for your comment.
Finding our place.
Patrick Collins, holy crap, $50 donation. Thank you very much for your generosity. Sir.
Hot damn.
Recently built my first PC using Paul's recent 3-part series. Nice. Screwed up on my parts. Dual RTX 2080 Ti and an Asus Prime Z390X due to ignorance. Would love if you guys would do an episode on high-end desktops. Realize it's not your core audience. Exclamation point and a heart. Thank you, Patrick.
You got
goodness
2080 Ti's?
Yeah, I mean, I have to appreciate the people who are like, you know what, I'm going to build a computer, especially if you haven't for quite a while or if it's your first time, and the people who just dive in with the high-end hardware because, like, wow, hats off to you.
Got the bankroll.
All right, so, Patrick, just getting down to some practical stuff here. Dual RTX 2080 Ti's is not practical.
No. Nothing can keep up with it.
Not at all.
Nothing can keep up. No CPU can keep up with it.
The areas where you'll get benefit from that second RTX 2080 Ti are really limited. It's really just a prestige thing that goes into like crazy, not super impractical water-cooled builds and stuff like that.
Right.
Because everyone thinks back to a glorious time when 2-way SLI was actually supported reasonably well, and you could even do 3-way and 4-way graphics cards configurations.
Yeah.
And that's not really the case anymore.
Right.
Just you need the driver support from NVIDIA or AMD, as well as the support from the software developers. So I would recommend, you part ways with your second RTX 2080 Ti if you have not already.
Put that into the build elsewhere.
That said, an Asus Prime Z390X and any of the higher end 9700K, 9900K, any of those higher end Asus, Intel CPUs and your 2080 Ti is a super nice setup. So you made good choices there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how else, as far as your description, you might have screwed up, but it sounds like you've made, by and large, good choices. Since
maybe he meant going dual.
Oh, I guess the question about high-end desktops. You're right. I don't cover it quite as much. I would point you towards my Riptide build that I did last year. That's probably the most time and in a video series that I've invested in high-end desktop stuff recently, X399 and everything. And I'm probably going to be doing some more coverage on that soon too, which is cool. I like the high-end desktop stuff. It's just, I think it's the motherboard price that tends to put it out of most people's range. You're looking at CPU prices and you're like, all right, I'm going to spend minimum $500 on a high-end desktop, if not $1,000 range. And then your motherboards, they kind of start out at $250 or $300.
Yeah, 300.
And go up
roughly
from there.
Yeah.
So, it's a much more significant initial investment.
Plus we have a lot more mainstream CPUs that have higher core counts nowadays.
Yeah.
That are like more and more competing with the high-end desktop performance when it comes to multi-threaded applications. So the gap's just narrowing more and more.
Yeah. So the benefit of the high-end desktop is really coming down to I/O. That's bandwidth.
Yeah.
So, and that makes it even more specialized for building that kind of system.
Exactly. Not everyone needs
practically speaking, for gaming, high-end desktops are like, sure, you can build a high-end desktop and game on it, but you better not be building a high-end desktop to game on.
It's way overkill.
That's so impractical.
You're wasting so much money.
You better be also doing
rendering,
a lot of other stuff on that high-end desktop.
3D modeling, CAD,
any of that stuff, compiling, or I don't know, whatever the hell. Yeah, some really CPU heavy lifting stuff beyond that to make it practical to invest that amount of money. And the fact is, even if you're talking about high-end desktop configurations that cost $2,000 and up, they're not the best solution for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Pair a high-end desktop Intel or AMD processor with like the fastest graphics card, practically speaking, right now, 2080 Ti. You're gonna get better performance out of a 9900K, which costs $500 versus your high-end desktops processors, which are going to be $700 to $1,000. So it needs to be for a specific purpose. It starts to bleed over into the area of like enterprise and workstation stuff, which is really cool. But again, it's a more limited audience for that kind of thing. So that's probably why we tend to veer more towards the gaming PC, the practical gaming PC solutions. But I love the high-end desktop stuff. I have a special place in my heart for it.
Because we're content creators.
From all the way back in the day when I was like somebody who didn't even know what YouTube was, and I just saw the high-end desktop, and I was like, I want an i7-920 because it's the high-end desktop, and I wanted to.
It's the best.
I wanted to be in that range and stuff. So, anyway, all right. Thank you, Patrick, for your question, and I hope you got some use out of.
Well, we have a
response.
ton of donations rolling in recently.
Oh wow, we do. All right, sorry. Let's try to plow through these more quickly because we're not gonna have time for Borderlands. Damn it.
Yeah, jeez.
That's fine. Dark Wolf, $20 donation. Thank you. Much love to you both. Should I overclock my 8700K when I get my 2070 Super Gaming OC in the mail tomorrow? Z390 Aorus Elite motherboard, H115i Pro AIO cooler. Yes, Dark Wolf. Yes.
Watch an overclocking guide. Follow it.
8700K is a beautiful processor. The speeds that it ships with out of the box are pretty mediocre compared to what's come after. So what you're looking at is a processor that's going to run at 4.3 gigahertz across 6 cores, which isn't horrible, but you should be able to get it up to 4.6, 4.7, and that's going to give you a nice boost in a lot of situations. You have a nice motherboard, Z390 Aorus Elite. That's solid. Like Kyle said, plenty of overclocking guides on that, so absolutely you should be overclocking that. Don't go with the default settings for an 8700K.
Yeah.
It
you
benefits
spent some
a lot
money
from
you spent the money on the right to overclock that thing.
You got a nice
Take
cooler
advantage.
too, so you should have plenty of headroom there.
Yeah.
Got Wire with a $5 donation. Love both your channels, guys.
Thanks, Scott.
I love your comments. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You the man. Mm-hmm. Alec Birch, $14.99. I recently built a Ghost S1 with a 3900X, 2080 Super. Gaming temps on ultra settings have been 75 to 80 C. I'm just air cooling right now. Are those temps respectable, or should I work on cooling? Honestly, dude, with the amount of horsepower you have in this...
Are you talking CPU or GPU? If you're talking GPU, that's pretty normal for a 2080. Is it Ghost?
Even with CPU in that build, I mean, you know, the Ghost S1 is the one that Jay built in for his small form factor one that he took to CES last year.
That's the small
form factor. It's mini ITX. Okay. So anytime you go small form factor, you're immediately compromising either on performance or temperatures or noise or a combination of those. And so with a Ghost S1 and a 3900X with a 2080 Super, which, you know, is better than a 2080 for the most part.
My God, it's $270.
It's a very expensive case. It's a very nice case, but it's still mini ITX, and, you know, you can do a full loop in it, but my God, are you sacrificing some temperatures? It's probably the worst performing custom loop you'll find in most cases because it's so tiny, and that's one of the amazing things about it too, is that it's portable. You can take this custom liquid loop system on the go, but don't expect amazing temperatures even though you spent the extra money on all of this custom water cooling hardware. So I think with the amount of horsepower that you have in this build, 75 to 80 C, whether you're talking about the CPU, which is a 12-core, 24-thread part, or the GPU, I would say if that's the maximum you're seeing, you're good. I would be happy with that.
Did he say, is that a stress test or?
He didn't say.
All gaming?
He didn't say.
Just air cooling?
Yeah, I mean, gaming temps. Gaming temps.
Oh, gaming temps.
So probably gaming temps, maybe after half an hour to an hour or so. I think that's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I would be happy to present that data to viewers and be like, look, it's warmer than a full mid-tower or full tower custom loop build, but considering how fast it is for how portable it is, there has to be a give and take somewhere. And I would just double check that your fans are actually operating as you'd like them to be. Here's the thing: if you're comfortable with the acoustics of your system, but you're a little bit more concerned about the temperatures, then consider cranking up the RPMs on your fans, and that could potentially bring the temperatures down. You might incur a little bit of noise, but if you're comfortable with that, then maybe you can redistribute that level of performance elsewhere.
And as pointed out by Rafael De La Ghetto, as well as I think a couple other people in chat, undervolting is your friend in this situation. It's kind of a fun method of overclocking undervolting. Rather than going for a higher frequency and seeing what higher frequency can be sustained at a specific voltage, you're generally sticking to the same frequency and seeing how low you can crank the voltage in order to and still be stable at that frequency.
Right.
You want to use a negative voltage offset if you're talking about CPU. GPU, you can do something similar as well. Usually you're going to be using software for that. But dialing down the voltage is going to be a great way to reduce your temperatures.
Yep.
Just, again, you're going to have to keep an eye out for instability. So consider it like sort of overclocking in reverse. Start with a voltage you're working at, dial it back at 10 millivolts, 10 more, and you just keep going until you crash and see what you can do.
Right.
Okay.
Nary Hutsack, $4.99, beautiful name. Hey guys, I'm a career firefighter and I love computers. Love y'all's channels, and I think it'd be awesome to see a FF themed build.
Hutsack.
Thanks, guys. FF. What's an FF themed build? Firefighter.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Ooh, that'd be a cool name for a PC build, the Firefighter, because if it was really cool and stayed, temperatures were in check, the Firefighter,
You're right.
keeping the flames down.
It would need a fire pole though.
It would need a fire pole.
Yeah, to go down.
Maybe it could be the GPU sag.
Yeah, the GPU sag
It could be a little fire pole.
Could be held up by a fire pole. That'd be kind of cool. It's like a little firefighter.
I like it.
Figure.
Have a little stripper on it.
Going. Why does a firefighter have to be naked or stripping?
No, I was.
That's fine.
I wasn't talking about like a male firefighter. I was talking more like, I'm not gonna judge, Paul. Whatever floats your boat. All right.
I'm just going with what I pictured mentally when you said that. So.
It's a free country. Thank you, Nary Hutsack.
Thank you, Nary.
I love you and your name. Des Jones, $5. Hey guys, my wife and I are planning to get unlocked Note 10 Pluses and Pixel 4 for her. We are testing out Google Fi service. What are your thoughts on it? I've never used Google Fi. I currently use AT&T. One of my best friends has been using he's been a Google Fi user for 4, maybe 3 years now.
Steve?
Mike Hedrick.
Oh, Mike. Okay.
So he's been using Google Fi for 3 years now. He has a Google Pixel 2 currently, and he loves it. Like he's absolutely like always ranting and raving about it. He's not even a huge
forgive my
Google
ignorance,
fan.
but I believe the way Google Fi works is it uses
Google Fiber.
the internet. So it's like if your phone has a Wi-Fi connection, then it uses that to do voice over IP. Basically, is that
I think that's right. Yeah.
I mean,
that sounds right to me. I mean,
I'm sure there's some software differences in the middle there and everything, but that's basically how it works. So
it uses network operated by Sprint, T-Mobile, and US Cellular.
Can it still connect to normal? Like if you just have a data connection to one of the
providers,
the cell phone towers, the cell phone towers, right?
Right.
Yeah. So if you have, that's what I'd be curious about.
It can automatically connect to Wi-Fi hotspots with encryption through automatic VPN.
Okay.
Phone calls transition between Wi-Fi and cellular networks. With all networks combined, the service covers more than 170 countries in the world.
Okay.
Yeah. So it automatically switches between
Gmail
networks.
and SMS together.
Like you said, Paul, it automatically switches between networks depending on the signal strength and speed.
We have several people in chat chiming in that they have Google Fi and they love Google Fi, so people seem to be positive about this.
People seem to like it.
I never engaged mine. I got a Google Fi set up when I got my original Pixel, and then I never did anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's expensive, really?
I'm not a Google fanboy anymore. I have a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus.
It's still Android, which is still Google.
Well, yeah. I just feel like I'm a bit further away from the hardcore Google fan.
Divorced with Google.
I'm the purist.
Kept the house.
Yep. Rich Clemente, $10. Thanks so much for the content, Paul and Kyle, and to a lesser extent, Lyle. Paul's dry humor and Kyle's bombastic humor bring a lot of light to the tech news that I tune into you guys for. Thanks so much, guys.
Good.
Very high compliments. Thank you very much, Rich.
And
those are the ones that keep us going.
Yes, they do.
Appreciate that. Dustin March.
Very poignant.
Yes. Dustin March, 10 Canadians.
Dustin.
Love you guys, both your channels. Finally beginning to amass some parts and build my first system.
Nice.
Somehow trying to figure out how to hook up all the RGB is the most complicated part of it.
You are right.
Absolutely.
You are absolutely right, Dustin.
Things got so much more complicated when
RGB LEDs are like
more and more. Oh my god! Have you opened up like one of the Thermaltake controllers?
No.
Oh my god! It's like tentacle porn. It's just like you open it and there's no possible way you could ever get it back into the box, and you're just forced to use it. And there's like 30 different connections for 30 different things, and you're like, what? This is lighting up like 10 LEDs, and it's the most complicated wiring system. And that's just one example.
I have such a mixed set of feelings about the RGB LEDs, because when you have a system where it's set up and engaged, and you can go in and make a couple quick adjustments to some software and change all right.
It's the hardware that's...
Has anyone noticed my fall theme? Anyone? You guys noticed my fall theme?
I would have never guessed.
Really? You didn't?
I mean...
It's fall.
I mean, yeah.
Background lights here are, this is supposed to be yellow, but since it's a 5-meter strip, you tell it to be yellow and it's green over here and it's like orange over there, but it's fine. It's a nice fall gradient.
Sure.
I got a fall background on the monitor here. I got a fall, right? You got the green and the yellow.
You should use Ryzen colors.
What?
You should just use Ryzen colors like red and orange and yellow. You know?
It's not a Ryzen system, Kyle. It's a Intel high-end desktop. That would be insulting.
Well, is it an autumn system? No. But you have autumn colors.
It's a system that changes with the color, with the seasons.
Yeah.
and I don't know, and I do that. I change it with the seasons, and I don't know how much people notice that kind of thing.
What CPU's in there after all?
It's a 16 core. I don't remember the model name.
Is it
7960X?
7960X?
Is that right?
7980X?
Well, it's a 16 core. So
okay, yeah. So
it's delidded.
I guess 7960X. Oh yeah, you still have this.
And it doesn't matter anyway. The 7000 series and the 9000 series are the same damn thing. They're still 14 nanometer and all that. They just changed the name. They're like, with the 9980XE, it's way better than the 7980XE because it's 9000 instead of 7000, obviously.
And more expensive.
But anyway, okay. Thank you to all.
It's a very lovely fall theme.
Appreciate my fall theme. I spent many. But no, one of the reasons
the beauty of RGB.
I like this system back here is all I use is the Asus Aura RGB software, which is not great software.
No,
it's not.
It's garbage.
It's okay. It's adequate software.
Not even that.
No, I'd say it's adequate because there's definitely some RGB software that sucks ass. That's below it. It's functional.
That's below garbage.
It mostly works.
Or a sync. Sets the standard for
as
garbage.
Long as you don't want to
everything
try,
else is below garbage.
As long as you don't want to try to plug in both an addressable 5-volt header on your motherboard and a non-addressable 12-volt header on your motherboard.
Unless you have an RGB controller,
this thing
like our
here.
friend gave us.
That
right?
guy. Anyway, so I forget what I was getting with that, but my point is
RGB software sucks.
RGB software sucks.
And RGB as a whole can suck in a lot of ways, both software and hardware-wise. Because this is all boiled down to who is it?
Dustin.
Dustin didn't expect that RGB would be the biggest bane or biggest thorn in his side when building a PC, and I totally relate. RGB can suck wiring up, especially if you have multiple devices, different controllers, different connections.
Helps keep it simple.
Yeah. Is this a proprietary connection? Does this go to the motherboard? Does it go to something else? Does it go to a built-in controller on the case? It's quite.
Or like Corsair.
It's quite. Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Well, they have their proprietary node controller.
But you know how
commander,
all of the Corsair RGB
Pro.
LED stuff works, just from a kind of base level, right? So if you have Corsair RGB LED stuff connected in a system, and you turn the system on, it will turn RGB vomit.
Sure.
Right? There's just the RGB gradient, which is fine, and does an RGB gradient across everything.
Rainbow, yeah.
Yeah. It's not until your system has booted up and you've loaded the IQ software that it reaches out and accesses those individual controllers on the individual devices you have.
Sure.
And then it runs the RGB software using your CPU.
Yes. It's a bit resource
intensive.
Which
can detract from your system resources.
Yeah.
So depending on how you have it set up and everything. So, yeah, there's a lot of RGB solutions out there. They are all unique in some way. It's really hard to give a sort of holistic overview of all of them.
Yeah.
And they all tend to suck a little bit, especially if you've got a bunch of different cables to hook up.
Yeah.
Okay, Calypso Raz, $5. Thank you, Dustin, by the way. Calypso Raz, thank you for your $5 donation. It is not announced yet, but any plans on LTX 2020 for you too? That's correct. I do not believe it's announced or confirmed or anything like that.
I don't know yet.
I really enjoyed my time at LTX 2019.
As did I.
And assuming they're still going to pay me thousands and thousands of dollars to attend, right? They did that for you, right?
Oh yeah, first class, flights and everything.
Yeah, all that. No. They did pay our way up there and paid for some hotel rooms, which was nice of them. But yeah, I'm planning on returning again, assuming it doesn't conflict with anything else, and yeah, all that. I had a good time. It was great to meet a lot of fans and do a lot of the stuff that we did there.
Yeah.
VC Jester with a $5 donation. Bearded Hardware plus Joe Stepansky. Bearded Hardware plus Joe Stepansky. World record breaking X overclocker. He had problems with the stream the other night. Yeah, yes, Bearded Hardware. He's worked with Gamers Nexus and
right. Oh, that Bearded Hardware.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that Bearded Hardware.
Yeah.
It's weird when you see a certain name in a different context where you don't recognize it at all. But in the right context, you're like, oh, duh. So,
yes.
Apologies, Bearded Hardware. I know.
Sorry if it seemed like... yeah, and I did too. It just Kyle's shouted a name out, and I was like, oh, I didn't...
We do have a lot of copycats occasionally in chat, too, where they'll, like, just steal a name or whatever from somebody else.
Yes.
But, cool. But cool to hear that that's the actual you. You're really here.
Thank you for that clarification once again. And yes, I can't say I've watched all the content that he's made with Gamers Nexus, but what I have watched, I've enjoyed. Okay.
On the to-do list.
Sketch Tech 123212321. $6.99 Canadian. I'm going to build my first PC next year. It will be cool if you live close to Alberta, Canada, to help.
We do not.
I have a car accident when I was 9. I'm 26.
Wow.
Hashtag next year.
That escalated quickly.
Kind of did.
It went from I'm building a new PC, the beginning of something new and infinite potential, to I was in a car accident when I was 9. I'm 26 now.
I feel like the car accident comment was kind of like to be like, he was in a car accident. Obviously, we should go help him build a computer.
Maybe it was a cry for help.
But
that was when you were 9.
Sketch
you seem
Tech
fine now.
I think the comments recently about LTX and stuff are a good example of something that Kyle and I can feasibly do, or we can go to an event and we can meet people and talk to people and interact and everything. Practically speaking, because we get lots of requests from people to build them a computer or to go and help them with a computer and stuff like that. And we would love nothing more than to have enough time to go and individually meet it and talk to everyone who has these issues, but practically we cannot do that.
If I could clone myself, so like one of my clones would just be responsible for answering all the questions that anyone that is subscribed to the channel has.
That would be awesome.
That'd be great.
So we do wish you the best of luck with your first PC build next year. If you are in Canada, then perhaps LTX 2020 would be a place that we could meet up with you and say hi and greet you in person. That said, yeah, I hope you've recovered from the car accident that you were in when you were 9. And thank you for your donation. Okay. Cyberden Systems, $5 donation. You guys rock.
Cyberden.
Also, tell Jay to get a P.O. box. I got a bunch of new stuff I want to send around. Keep up the awesomeness.
We're not your messenger boy.
Thank you, Cyberden Systems.
I'm going to just...
I'll tell
Jay for
I'll
you.
tell Jay that I'm not. Jay at this point might have intentionally not have a PO box because then he would
probably have a
to
reason.
Get stuff from the PO box.
We'll have a good one because
we're at a point where like we can have PO boxes because we get stuff randomly from time to time.
Yeah.
But no, it's not like a lot of stuff.
Right.
I went to the PO box today, and I got some nice things that were sent over here.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like an insane amount of things.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe Jay's just protecting himself.
And certainly people have sent me stuff before to hand off to Jay. I did that with some candles.
Yeah.
That I finally gave him at the fan meetup last year.
A very important delivery.
So yeah, send us the stuff that you want to send to Jay, and we promise we'll give it to him. We're not going to open it and keep it for ourselves or anything like that.
Cool.
Okay, Air Force 46270.
Air Force.
Thanks for the $5 donation. Thank you for all you guys do. You helped me get through a crappy deployment last year and totally made it where it was better. Happy holidays to you both.
Nice.
Thank you. Thank you for your service. Also, if you're deployed, you're a member of the Air Force, I'm assuming, based on your name. Happy Veterans Day. We just passed that up.
We did.
And yeah, I mean, anything that we did that helped you get through a difficult time or just helped entertain you or anything like that, I'm always super happy to hear when people have benefited from watching our content at all.
Indeed.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Cat in the Box, $5.
Cat in the Box.
Speaking of CAD, I get to do AutoCAD a huge chunk of the day on a 2-core, 4-thread laptop, part with iGPU. It's just as bad as it sounds. Whoa. Anyway, here's catnip.
Cat in the Box. You should save your catnip money.
Yeah.
Upgrade your computer. My God.
Right? 2-core, 4-thread. These days just does not cut it for anything.
If nothing else, else at all, consider yourself, the processor that AMD just announced.
The Athlon?
Yeah, the Athlon.
Athlon 3000.
3000G, I think. It's going to be $50.
Yeah.
It's
2-core 4
It
thread.
is still dual core like yours, but dual core 4 thread. I think it's 12 nanometers N plus based.
Yeah.
And it's got Vega graphics integrated as well.
Yep.
And I bet it would be an upgrade from the dual core 4 thread part with an iGPU that you're working with.
Yeah.
And it's only $50.
I know.
And it fits on AM4, so you could upgrade it to something really much nicer than that in the future if you wanted to as well. Yeah. Anyway, that was a fun announcement that they made. Cat in the Box, thank you for your donation. Israel Garcia, $5 donation. Paul, maybe you guys can do what Gamer Grumps did. Game Grumps and Phil DeFranco did. Make a different channel just for Awesome Hardware. Seems to be working for them. You know, that's not outside the realm of possibility.
Definitely not.
I think there's a lot of potential things that Kyle and I might do, and we'll keep that in mind as an option.
Yeah.
If that's something that's working out for them. I like doing the live show. I would like to keep doing the live show. But if doing the live show is causing me to suddenly make much less money comparatively, then
if it destroys your livelihood to support you and your family,
then you have to make a practical decision at that point.
Yeah.
That said, it seems like there are options out there, so we're gonna figure that stuff out.
Yeah.
And we do thank you for your donations and your suggestions for those, because there's certainly stuff that we might not have thought of that you guys do, such as the way of chat and us benefiting from Hive Mind.
It's a good idea, though.
Okay.
El Jefe Reviews, $5. I wanted to say thanks for the advice, guys, that you gave me when I started my own channel. I'm still making videos, and I love videos that I love, and I'm growing. Much love, El Jefe. Thanks,
awesome.
man. I'm glad to hear. Glad to hear it that that video content has been flowing fruitfully and doing well for you. That's always good news. Keep it up, man. It's not an easy job.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
It's good to hear, though.
Ishkabibble. 001. $10.69. Woo! YouTube made it easy and fun to build my first system, so thank you. What is your favorite whiskey or liquor of choice? Ooh. I have a variety of whiskeys that I go to. I really like my Talisker, my Macallan 12, the occasional Lefroy, although I've been sort of slowing down on the peaty stuff lately. And the occasional bourbon.
Bourbon?
Bourbon. Sometimes if I'm just slumming it up, I'll just reach for that Bullet Rye. Hell yeah.
How about the Jim Beam?
I'm not a Jim Beam fan.
No?
I'm a Bullet man.
Okay. Ishkabibble, it's pretty rare for me to drink hard alcohol these days. I do not handle it well. I wasn't good with hard alcohol when I was younger. I'm older now, and oh gosh, it's pretty rough. That said, I'm partial to rum.
Partial to rum.
I like rum. Rum's good. I like vodka too.
Vodka.
I can't tell you like, oh, I like this vodka or this rum. It's a dollars game. If you're spending more money on hard alcohol, it means it's been distilled longer or more times, and it removes more impurities, and that means you'll have less of a hangover. That's why expensive hard alcohol is expensive. That's why cheap alcohol is cheap. And that's why when you're super young, you can drink a bunch of cheap alcohol, and you have an hangover, and when you're older, you drink a bunch of cheap alcohol, and you just die. It's just horrible.
You just want to end it all.
Yeah.
It is quite horrible.
Yeah. But that is, all right, for any of you guys out there who are on the younger side and have never heard this before, because maybe you guys haven't, that's the difference. More expensive alcohol is further distilled. It has more impurities removed from it. So that's why you spend more money for the top shelf stuff.
That's why it tastes cleaner.
The tastes, smoother. Obviously, it can taste cleaner, smoother, all that good stuff. But less of a hangover. No shit.
I never really buy
the cheapest possible alcohol in the plastic handle or whatever. Yeah, you can get super wasted for not very much money. Hangover.
But you'll be wasted in the morning in a bad way.
Buy the I caught that.
You did.
Buy the expensive
Crouching
stuff
Tiger.
that's, whatever, and you'll have less of a hangover.
I never buy expensive whiskey so that I don't have a hangover the next morning. I just buy it because it tastes better, but the not having a hangover or not being as likely to have a hangover the next morning is a beautiful cherry on top, I will say. That is a nice little... It's a value add. It's a little value add to the whiskey.
And yes, Jenny, you're
50%
very
less
correct in chat.
hangover.
If you're 21,
Then you just bounce right back.
just buy the shitty stuff because
You're good to go the next day.
Your recuperation time is much
Metabolism and all that.
much better at that age
Yeah,
than,
fuck all
it
you
is
young
in your
people.
late 20s or your 30s in particular.
Y'all suck.
Okay, where are we at?
Dustin? No, Sketchy.
Sketch Tech 1 2 3 2 3 1 something.
Yes.
Trying to save my money so I could get a 9900K with a 2080 Ti, Samsung 970 Evo Plus, G Skill, ROG power supply.
Black Friday.
Next year hashtag all our RGB.
Black Friday.
Been saving all day.
Get some crazy
Nice.
Black Friday deals, bro.
Yeah, keep an eye out for Black Friday if you've been saving up.
Or Christmas deals.
If you're looking at a 2080 Ti, you can't get much better than that, practically speaking. It's very expensive, but if that's what you're looking at, then good. And 9900K is a very solid processor. I would take a hard look at the AMD stuff too.
I hope you're going for at least a 1440p display.
Depending what resolution you're playing at and everything, the AMD stuff can do you just fine and can often perform better
Per
in
dollar.
multi-threaded tasks, as you can often get more cores and threads
Oh,
for
you're
your
on
money.
CPU.
Yeah, if you're looking at the CPU side of things. So keep an eye out on that. The 3900X is already out. 3950X is coming out soon.
3950X.
3950.
Woo!
So yeah, just don't get too set on Intel or AMD because they both have their benefits, and you should always be looking at what the current prices are.
Do not fanboy.
Yeah. Dustin March, 10 Canadian dollars. I've got an RGB Cooler Master all-in-one and fans.
Oof.
Plan is to connect it to an ASRock motherboard, all housed in the Razer 011 Dynamic. Plan is to hopefully get it all configurable in Synapse. Oof.
Good luck.
Oh,
don't think
Razer Synapse.
Synapse is not going to help you there.
I barely touched
No, don't do that.
Synapse.
You can get the Razer, the 011 Dynamic may be configured with Synapse, but your AIO with Cooler Master is going to have to be. I think it comes with its own controller, if I'm not mistaken, which
Comes with
then
its
has to
own,
be plugged
but
into your motherboard.
You can also, he's talking about those ones like over there. They can also run off the motherboard, adjustable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So one or the other, you'll have maybe a bit more functionality or customizability with the software, but you can just connect it to the controller as well. It's probably got like a physical button on it that you can switch through different modes. I don't think you'll be able to get your Cooler Master AIO operational within Razer Synapse. I don't think it's supported by that, unless I'm horribly mistaken.
I have not really used Synapse, so I can't say one way or the other. If Synapse is capable of reaching out and just controlling standard 5-volt headers, then you might be okay with that. But
I rarely hear it advertised as being one of the supported RGB softwares. But you never know.
yeah.
Good luck. Alan
Good luck.
CB 9999 Canadians, keep talking. I need to fall asleep. Your lovely voices are very ASMR alternative.
Oh, good.
Haha. Really?
That is good.
I've noticed a lot of ASMR tech videos popping up.
I hope the dogs barking don't suddenly cut into that or
That
anything.
might distract people a little bit. But
Indeed.
I know Caitlin V3, who we rated last week, I think, did a ASMR video recently.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Random Frank P, our good buddy and pal, has done an ASMR video where he did like the keyboards, like mechanical switches, keyboard ASMR video there. And then TechSource, Ed, also did an ASMR video very recently, probably this week.
Huh.
So it seems like ASMR YouTube has been a huge, like, sort of advocate of ASMR. Like, it's really popularized ASMR, put it on the grid. It seems to be overflowing into other categories and other niches, where it just becomes sort of like this fun thing to do for other channels that aren't necessarily related to it. But I've considered it. I've considered it for a while now, and if I ever do it, I want to go all out and actually produce some effing tingles, as opposed to just putting it in a title and thumbnail or anything, something like that. Not that any of the channels that I just mentioned are doing that at all, but I personally am susceptible to ASMR or can benefit from ASMR myself. Sometimes I'll listen to ASMR while I go to sleep because my mind's racing and I just can't crash without it. So
I just assumed it
might
was
be
all
kind of fun.
made up.
It's tough to do it though. Like, you have to know what sounds good. You can't just like unbox a box next to a microphone and like that's ASMR. Like, you have to know.
You gotta have a nice mic.
You gotta have a nice mic, but also you have to sort of know what are common triggers. What sort of sounds are overlap with people's triggers. But interesting that you should mention that.
Okay, guys, no more donations, please. We're cutting them off here. We do have a few more here.
We can save them for next week.
We're gonna save them for next. I think we can go through them real quick. There's only like 3.
All right.
First off, the one that Crafty already responded to in chat. What's the PO box for awesome hardware from Ziv Zoolander? Crafty responded to that, but it's PO Box 4325, Diamond Bar, California. It's linked in the video's description of every single one of my videos. Kyle has a PO box too, but it's not currently active, so
yeah.
We'll just send to mine if you want to.
One day.
Twitchy to you, $5 donation. I'm looking to make a low-end Steam Cache server. Are either of you planning on making a video close to that? No, Twitchy.
No.
Not in any future short... No, I don't have any current plans for that. Level 1 Techs is where you want to go for that, my friend.
Yeah.
Go to Level 1 Techs. They've done Steam Cache server setup videos in various configurations, and I'm confident that you'll be able to find some more information on that.
Yeah.
L1 Techs. So tell Wendell we said hi. Nathan Mann, $5 donation. 144 hertz 4K monitor, or 240 hertz 1080p.
Where's the 1440p 100 hertz option?
Yeah, or I would say
1440,
144 hertz is probably a nice middle range.
Yeah.
240 hertz at 1080p is nice. Like, there's definitely some benefits there to the really high refresh rates. I can say, after having done some testing myself recently in a Linus Tech Tips video that
nice.
Hasn't been posted yet.
It's a nice crispiness with 1440p.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising actually for me. It was surprising going from 60 to 240. Some of the stuff that it changes when it comes to your reaction time and stuff like that.
True.
That said, 240 hertz is pretty high, and I'd say the balance, the middle range, the sort of the mix between high resolution and high refresh rate that I would aim for right now is 144 hertz, 2440 by 1440.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you're not interested in ultra wide, of course. Ultra wide is also pretty nice, but yeah, that's where I'd point you
Middle
towards.
of the road, please.
Final donation comments from Joseph Wagner, $5. Thank you, Joseph. Opinion on Intel Hades Canyon years later. Have you guys seen planned updates? Kyle, do you have a Hades Canyon Nook, don't you?
I do, yeah. I do, and it's actually really nice. Like, I feel like it handles, moderately demanding titles pretty well, within the 50 and 60 FPS range on high settings for the most part, 1080p. I've mostly played Counter-Strike with Intel Hades Canyon Nooks. That's what we used for our airplane or our LAN party on a plane video. We were using those, and that Nook was configured to be roughly around, I think, $1,000. It scales up from there if you want more storage on the SSD that it boots from. But I think they're great. They're great PCs, mini PCs, if you're really confined for space, and you just want something that's extremely small, can fit anywhere, but actually has some decent horsepower graphically, because it can play. It does have. It's one of those unique products that has an Intel CPU but AMD graphics. It's kind of an interesting mashup there. But
I thought that was interesting when they first announced it.
Yeah, that was like sort of the talk of the town, right? It's like,
how do you work together like
Blasphemy.
that when you hate each other or whatever?
Yeah, but it's also sort of one of those like better together, like hashtag better together type of moments where you did have like the really high clock speed performance for a mobile chip like that on the Intel side, but then AMD offering their sort of mobile graphics, which are definitely a few steps ahead of Intel, even back then and even now. So you kind of had the best of both worlds from these two otherwise very competing companies that just created a pretty nice product. And I still have like our three I think we have 3 Hades Canyon Nucks right now.
3 of them.
Yeah, one of them's being underutilized as a 24/7 surveillance system, where I just have our Ubiquity camera feeds pulled up 24/7.
Okay.
But obviously those systems can handle a lot more than that. So yeah, if you're doing light gaming, definitely something to consider. The only thing is that like it's a finished product, right? So you won't really be able to upgrade it much or at all in terms of CPU or GPU. You can swap out the memory for higher capacity. You could expand the storage of your SSD. It's got an M.2 slot in there, but you're not going to be able to really upgrade the graphical horsepower of it like you would a DIY PC. So something to bear in mind there. But they're fantastic. They're fantastic little gaming systems for what they are, for the size. You cannot... You put one of those things next to the smallest mini ITX gaming build that you can possibly muster, and it's still a fraction of the size. That's the real benefit here, is that if portability is an utmost priority, it doesn't really get much better in terms of size, portability to performance ratio. The whole stream is lagging. Borderlands is too much for the stream.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
I gotta mess with some stuff, some settings for that.
One packing, one rendered.
Not streaming
frame.
too bad, is it?
Let me see. Are you streaming on Twitch or on? Oh yeah, I guess on both still.
Both.
It looks pretty good on my end. I mean, it could be a little smoother, but it's still very watchable.
The XSplit gaming settings
Very
are something that I haven't really, dug into in quite a while.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
No, it looks good here.
I'm just collecting. My ammo's full.
Just loot everything.
Can I? Where's the shield? Oh, it's over here.
Oh no,
okay. Okay.
I'm gonna use the restroom, I think.
What?
I have to pee. Can I pee?
Yeah.
Is that allowed? I'm gonna pee.
Ah, here we go. Here we go. That's what I wanted.
Have you been playing this?
Only very briefly.
What class did you go? Mage? Or whatever it is?
I don't.
Magic
I
class?
think I'm the big guy.
Tank?
Beastmaster.
Beastman. Is that what his name is?
Probably.
I think I was an assassin in Borderlands 2. He was fun. He's very fast. A little squishy. But so stealthy.
Assassin?
Yeah, I was an assassin in Borderlands 2.
Wait, Shiv is mad at me. Hold on. What happened? Find Shiv. Alright. Should be easy enough. Hey everyone, how you guys doing? I'm playing Borderlands because it's one of the things I wanted to do today. Oh. That guy has one big arm and one little arm. Oh. Oh, reload. Oh god. Backing up. Oh god. Why is he still alive? Ooh, critical hit. I like that. Oh, where'd he get off me? The reload time on my gun is really pretty horrible right now. I'm just backing up constantly so he doesn't kill me. No. Yay! I killed him and I leveled up. I've leveled up. Okay.
On Pandora are even more savage than the beasts.
That's good to know.
Score one for the Crimson Raiders. You and Claptrap secure the area. I'm on my way.
Ammo's full. What's this? Oh, hey. I forget how... Oh, here we go. $34. This is how I choose weapons in this game, is how much money they're worth. This one's worth $34, for example. This one's $22, so I'm obviously going to use... This is also more like a... I don't know what kind of gun this is. Did that work? What? Why won't it let me... Okay, everything's fine. Claptrap, yeah, Claptrap.
Is he...
Fortunately, is been captured at this point.
Oh,
so,
good. That's always good.
Yeah, that's good.
He needs to chill out.
Unlock action skill.
Poor little Claptrap.
Where's my action skill? Skills. Oh, hey, there we go. Action skills.
Got
Yay,
skills, bro.
action skills.
So many skills. We forgot Johnson's.
Johnson's.
Holy moly. How could we forget?
I'm going to skip the tutorial and assume that I know how these work. Johnson's, Kyle, we should...
Johnson's. Here we go. Let's see.
We should definitely...
Shoutouts and Johnson's
do
right
some
now.
Johnson shoutouts. Okay.
We have a new order from Jeremy A. from Los Angeles, California.
Jeremy.
Our very own backyard and front yard and side yard. Thank you, Jeremy, for picking up a Bitwit Heatsink logo black zipper hoodie, just like the one I'm wearing.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Appreciate it, sir. I also have a Johnson from Abraham W. from Morristown, New Jersey. Thank you, Mr. Walsh from New Jersey, for picking up a CPU cooler and Flash BIOS full color 15-ounce black ceramic mug set. You demand. Next up, we have an order from Douglas B. at Fairway, Kansas. Fairway, Kansas. Awesome hardware Star Wars shirt.
Doug B.
The best. The absolute best. We also have an order from Joseph K. from Hydesville, California. I've never been to Hydesville, California. I'm sure it's a beautiful place. CPU Cooler Gaming Desk Mat. Thank you very much, Mr. Kidd. We also have one from Scott M. Blue Shirt of Death. A B-sod for you. In the best kind of way. Thank you very much, Mr. Mowry from Marysville, Washington. Also have one from Matt M. from Tacoma. Also from Tacoma, Washington. B-sod. Another B-sod sale. One after another. Back to back. It's the only time I've been excited to see back-to-back B-sods. Andrew G. from San Antonio, Texas. Shirt needs updates. Beautiful choice. And a Bitwit Heatsink logo. Black zipper hoodie. Just like the one I'm wearing. Thank you very much, Andrew G.
Okay, let me catch up with you.
Please.
Starting with Jeremy A. from Los Angeles, California.
That's Double Johnson.
That's Double Johnson. Thank you very much. Double Johnson for you, Jeremy.
DJ.
Got the the infant onesie. Yes. Thank you very much. I hope your little one likes the infant onesie, as well as the Thumbscrew Heather Charcoal Midweight Zipper Hoodie, which is a really good zipper hoodie.
Woo!
Next up,
Woo!
Scott M. from Marysville, Washington. Got the Thumbscrew Stainless Steel Bottle Opener.
That's a DJ.
That's a
Double Johnson right there.
That's Double Johnson right there. The bottle opener it's real good. It's a good bottle opener.
Okay.
Joseph K. from Hydesville, California.
Double J.
That's Double Johnson.
Hot damn.
Got the Captain Thumbscrew Heather Black shirt.
Nice.
The one I'm wearing right now. It's a good shirt. People will be like, "What's your shirt?" And then you can explain it to them. And then you'd be like, "Right? It's funny." And then they'll be like, "Who?
Yeah. Guess.
Dork."
Dork.
It's a good. No, you'll be happy about it. You'll enjoy your shirt. Thank you very much. Harold T. Also gets a Johnson from New York. Got the 15-ounce mug and the 20-ounce English pub glass.
Nice.
Many drinking paraphernalias headed your way. Thank you, Johnson, for you. Hal?
What?
Oh.
I think I'm.
I got a. Oh, okay.
I read them. I tagged them all.
Andrew G. from San Antonio, Texas. A Johnson for you. Thank you for grabbing the captive thumbscrew black T-shirt as well as the standard thumbscrew gray black polo.
Ayo.
Very professional. The polo shirts. They can be worn in professional environments. That's what they're there for. And finally, a Johnson for Brent F. from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma,
Ayo.
for getting the thumbscrew solid navy blue tri-blend T-shirt.
Tried and true classic.
Thank you, and a Johnson for you very much, Brent. All right, guys.
Nice.
That is all we got for today's episode of Awesome Hardware. I tried to play some Borderlands.
You did, though.
I
for a
did.
little
I did
bit.
very briefly. I wanted
briefly.
to. I put it in the title, so I feel bad if I didn't play any Borderlands. I played a little bit of Borderlands.
It's okay.
It's okay.
There's always next week.
Yeah. Okay. In the meantime, if you guys are watching live and you would like something to do now that we are ending the live show, go ahead and raid twitch.tv/VengefulJedi.
Vengeful Jedi.
Spelled exactly like those two words. Vengeful Jedi. VengefuLJedi. Twitch.tv. Tell him we sent you.
Go see what he's so vengeful about.
Yeah, why is what's with all the vengeance?
Ask him,
I
why?
thought a Jedi was supposed to be
Honorable
peaceful
and
or
peaceful
something. I don't know.
Tranquil.
Okay. Thanks all you guys for watching. We're gonna raid right now.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night. Godspeed.
Farewell.
God bless.